you guys gotta see this. Look at my exhaust. I've got a story to tell. My exhaust has been broken for a while now. Not this bad, of course, but it's been broken and like leaking for a long time. The other night, I went out with a buddy, and on the way home, I was driving and we heard this really crazy noise coming from under the car. So we stop, obviously, get out, and that's what we see, the exhaust dragging on the ground. We start brainstorming because we're in the middle of nowhere, so we come up with this genius idea. Let's tie a rope around the vehicle to hold the exhaust up just long enough so we can get home. As per usual, when we started to go, things got more interesting. That's not helping. So I had to drop my friend off, and I have like 3 miles on some back roads, so it should be dead at this point in time. It's late in the evening. I leave and I turn onto the main stretch, and I see some headlights in the distance, and I think to myself, that's probably a cop. I just, like, I could feel it. You know when you can feel it when you see a cop? As I'm driving, I have this car coming at me, and we're getting closer and closer, and he passes by, and sure enough, it's a sheriff. I just keep going, and I think, you know what? Whatever's gonna happen, and I look in the rear view, he turned around. As he turns around and I keep going, I pull harder on the rope, trying to hold the exhaust up, because I don't want it to be on the ground in the middle of the night, just tossing a bunch of sparks on the ground and making a bunch of noise, because that just makes the whole situation worse in my head. And he pulls me over. He hits the lights. I stop the car. He gets out, comes up, grabs my license. He just kind of looks at the car. I go, the exhaust just broke. We didn't have a plan to get home. This was in the trunk, so I figured, hey, wrap it up and I can limp it home. No big deal. After I explained what was happening, he just kind of giggled a little bit, and then he asked me, have you been drinking tonight? Yeah, I had. I had a few with dinner, but that was a couple hours back. I figured it was fine. He said, okay, well, get that fixed. I'm gonna head out. And I was like, oh, I got so lucky. That could have went a lot of different ways. So moral of the story, that sheriff was really cool, and we're here to fix my car. We have a couple things we gotta fix. Obviously the exhaust, that's number one. The turbo needs to come out. We're putting a new one in. It's sitting right on top of that engine block, right over there. So yeah, turbo's coming out, new exhaust. Should be like a whole new car. We just crossed 250,000 miles with this thing. It's holding coolant. That's a good sign.
Yep. I'm excited to see how much shaft play this thing has. You're gonna be able to take the turbine out.
It probably has one blade left.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna take so long. But it stays off the ground now. It's not entirely broken. I went under the car and unhooked the rear hanger. That's what we got. The bottom of my resonator here has been shaved flat. So basically this is the first step of taking the turbo out. So I'm gonna break it off on one of these spots, hopefully up at the top, because that'll make it a little easier to pull the whole system out from the top, and I think we can do that. There's just nothing to it. That's O'Reilly's flex pipe for you. Guess what else we're putting back in it? O'Reilly's flex pipe. So in another 2 years, we'll be able to do this again, guys. Nice and straight. See? Oh my God. Do you hear that? That was all gravel in here from driving down the road. My turbo is cracked. It had a
And
butt
that
crack.
turbo's free, so.
You can see it. It's right there. Sheesh. Woo! Turbo's all hooked up. We're good. We have to go under the car and make a plan for the exhaust. You should see what we got. What do you think of my new pipe?
It's very red.
I gotta be careful where I swing it. Hey, don't rub it like that. I don't like it when you touch it while I'm holding it like this. Yeah.
Good point.
Guys, check this thing out. It doesn't even fit in the entire frame.
It's way too shiny to go on your car.
As much as I didn't want to, I had to get the Thrush glass pack from O'Reilly's because the stock one was not big enough. It is noticeably quieter.
Yeah.
Fruits of our labor.
We'll see. Let it burn off all the stuff, and then the true test will be tomorrow.
Right.
It is the next day. We got a couple things that we got to do left. Basically, we just have to weld on top of the pipe. We were only able to work on the bottom last night because the car was sitting on jack stands. So now the lift is wide open and we are able to get the car up, drop the exhaust down so we can weld on the top of it and finish the entire setup. We were a little bit concerned because this turbo that we put in had a little bit more shaft play, which no shaft play is optimal, but when it's a used part and, you know, it was just laying around, I can't really complain considering the old turbo was cracked. The wastegate flap here in the turbo doesn't seat all the way. So I was losing potential boost, and that's not good. We don't want to lose any of the boost. This car could use all of the power it can get. It's a heavy car with a 4-cylinder engine. So this thing is going to be sweet once it's buttoned up. It's already really good. It's a lot quieter, a lot nicer to actually drive around in. It's not like droning. Huge improvement from what it was. So yeah, let's get this thing up in the air and fix the exhaust. Is there still yellow paint?
Yeah, everywhere.
Oh my goodness, that was years ago now.
Look at that big glob.
Oh my gosh. So what happened was I was driving and there was a road work truck in front of me with a yellow road paint can on the back, and he hit a bump and the paint can bounced out of the truck onto the road and I ran it over. My entire car had yellow paint all over it.
Now it should be completely quiet. Give it a good healthy rev one.
What? That shot out and hit me.
What was it?
The backfire or whatever it was.
Oh, really? I'm good
Probably
for...
the last time it'll be that far apart unless we're partying it out for the last time.
Don't say those words. I don't like those words. Not even after 250,000 miles have I thought about partying it out.
If it ever gets that far taken apart again, it ain't coming back.
It ain't coming back. Mostly because it can't. A lot of things are stripped on here. We're gonna do at least 500,000 in this car. I can feel it.
That is very optimistic.
What can I say? I'm an optimistic guy. I'm an optometrist.
I don't know if that's what that means.
No, it's not. You know why I wear my sunglasses? Because my future's too bright. That is my girlfriend.
No, he is actually a really manly looking guy. He just waves at all the guys he thinks are cute like that.
Now it's not doing it. Oh.
Boost curve fat. Stir.
That was a very aggressive pothole. It wasn't even a pothole, it was just a dip in the road.
It's just a crater. That crack was pretty big.
And trust Mason, he knows a lot about big cracks.
Yes. I used to be a plumber. Skirt. We got about 20K under the hood in maintenance on this bitch.
Well guys, that was us putting a turbo in my car. It needed it. New exhaust. Now we can go back to all of the things because now I can drive myself to and from to do the other stuff.
No excuses now that it's cold and you don't want to drive the scooter because it's 30 degrees out.
If you guys like this kind of content, let us know because we're more than willing to do more car stuff. I mean, that was the original plan with this channel anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have new stuff coming for the go-kart coming to you very soon.
That over there that we can't show you.
Yeah,
Not
that thing.
It's a big,
No.
it's freaking huge.
It's gonna be sweet.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, you guys know the deal. We got things planned. Thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Cracks and bangs are pretty good.